What is up, guys? It's Mike here, and today here is another list video. I'm going to be listing down the trucks from Mix 12 from my personal opinion, and it's going to be very interesting. Alright guys, so these videos I really like making. I like making all the list videos and everything, and Mix 12 has been really insane to list. So these trucks have been really cool. We've seen a lot of new trucks. Now the car that I currently have in the display case here, the only truck missing from that is AfterShock. But Mix 12 has been really good. My personal opinion, I think this case was one of the better cases for 2020 so far, and I'm really happy we got to see a lot of new trucks. We got to see a lot of new designs like the Gravedigger. We got a brand new chase piece, which is really nice. We got to see, you know, some trucks make a comeback like EarthShaker and WonderWoman. And then we also did see a brand new casting and a brand new truck with Wolf's Head. Also, I guess you can throw FreeBird in there too. But yeah, very interesting case or mix. Also, to the left here is all the wristbands from that case. So you can see we got 2 red wristbands, we got a lot of yellow, we got 1 cream, we got Gravediggers on top, which is always different with the Gravedigger name, and 2 blue ones. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring out the very, well, in my opinion, what truck I think we could have did without the case, and the one that was my least favorite, and then we're just going to count them down like always. So with that being said, the truck that I thought was the absolute, I wouldn't say the worst, well I guess, the worst truck of Mix 12 in my opinion was none other than this truck right here. Alright, so this was pretty tough. It was pretty tough to pick a truck that I thought was the least favorite out of this whole mix, and the reason why I'm putting Whiplash here is just because, for one, there's a lot of trucks in this mix that are really good. However, we did see Whiplash 3 times this year. We saw the fire version of Whiplash, and then we saw the color changing of Whiplash. And even though they did put new rims on this truck, they did put a nice roll cage to match the body of the truck and a different chassis, there's just not enough here that Whiplash is kind of like, I don't know, I just think all the trucks in Mix 12, it's kind of really hard to pick one that was really bad or one that should be last. But, you know, the next couple trucks, I don't want to say it's a tie, but it's just hard to rank these ones. So for Whiplash, even though I am happy and I do like this version a lot better than the one from Mix 8, just this mix was really tough to decide. This was actually one of the hardest mixes to rank down. But none other than Whiplash, I'm going to put for my last truck here, the 9th truck in this mix. A lot of you guys might not agree with me, and I get that, but I don't know, I just couldn't rank it any higher. I tried. So let's move on to truck number 8. Basically the last 3 trucks in this whole mix, it was really difficult to rank all of them. But truck number 8, I'm going to have to go with this one because it's just, I don't know where to put it, honestly. And that's none other than AfterShock. Now, the only reason why I'm putting this truck higher than Whiplash is the fact that this truck has the green slime. The truck's a little more updated. I do like the color scheme. I think the colors of it flow very well together. I like the green, the blue, the yellow on the rims. I also really love the 2-tone paint job on this. And just because of the slime and that 2-tone paint job, that's why I ranked it higher than Whiplash. I mean, if you come to think about it, Whiplash is just the same old casting. There's really nothing different. The only difference with that truck is the roll cage, chassis, and rims. This one, they actually did paint. They did a 2-tone paint, which I believe they haven't really done. And they also made the truck look just like its real-life counterpart. And I also really love how they added the slime to the front, the sides, the roof, and the tailgate. Also, I don't think we're going to see another AfterShock. This might be just like how Gunslinger was last year, where we only saw one, and even for this truck last year, how we only saw it once. I don't know if it's gonna be seen again. So if this is the only time this truck is out this year and gets released, I think they did a very well job with this, a really good job with this, just updating the truck, the detailing on it, and I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see if this truck does get released again further down the road. Alright, so the next truck, definitely a blast from the past. One I didn't think we would see it again, and that's none other than WonderWoman. So the reason why this truck gets ranked at number 7 is honestly because they updated it and they did add the purple on the roof and the back of it. Now, if this truck was silver on the top instead of purple, it would have been last. It definitely would have been the worst truck of this whole mix because all they did was update the graphics and they did a different red on the red, a little darker red. However, it is interesting to see this truck back. I personally did not think it was gonna be made again. We were supposed to get a double pack last year with it and it got canceled, and then it came with the reveal the steel pack with Avenger, I believe, this year. So it was kind of weird to see this truck back. However, I am really happy it did come back, and I'm happy they decided to make the purple roof and everything because, let's be honest, there's really nothing much more you can change with this truck. I mean, maybe the roll cage and stuff like that, but then again, it's in the, they do that, they change the rims, tires, roll cage and all that, it's in the same category with Whiplash, so not much they can do about it. So even though I'm happy to see it's back, honestly, I don't know. I mean, mixed feelings about this truck, and right off the bat, I'm just gonna say it was very hard to rank AfterShock, Whiplash, and WonderWoman. I feel like these three could have been really any order on this list, but I'm just going off with just detailing and how these trucks got released and all that. So yeah, let's move on to the next truck. Alright, so the next truck on this list, it was pretty tough, and there's really a big obstacle this truck had coming at it, and the reason being it got released so quick after we saw the release of its 4th of July edition. I mean, you know, you basically got 2 trucks of the same thing all within about a week. Now, if Mix 12 actually got into stores on July 1st, like it was supposed to, I mean, it's the same category, even if it did, because, you know, 9 times out of 10, if you had to choose between this truck or the 4th of July truck, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would go after the 4th of July truck rather than this one. And even though it's the same thing, even though it's painted different, I don't know, I just feel like that really hurt the truck in the ranking, because it's like, oh, why would I go and get this one when I can get an exclusive one, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that. So judging it from that standpoint and that idea, that's how I'm kind of ranking it. Now, if this truck got released, say, in November or June or the last mix, maybe it would have been a little higher. However, I am happy to see that FreeBird did come back, and I'm happy that it's painted just like an eagle, and I think that's cool in a way. But just the fact that it got released so close to the other version of this truck really hits it for me. And I don't know, it's just like that whole thing of like, why have this one when I can have the exclusive one? Especially if you're like, oh, I can only have one, you know? But judging from a collector standpoint, it's like you gotta have them all. So like, I don't know, I just think the timing with the release really hurt this truck. However, the truck as itself, I think it looks really nice. I like the red, white, and blue on it. I like the detailing on it. And once again, with all that, I think it just falls victim to the other trucks in this mix. But the main judging point with this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, definitely collectors, would agree with me, it came out at the wrong time. I think this one came in the wrong mix. Even though I try to understand what they were doing by making this truck come out around the 4th of July. But then again, you ask yourself, why they have this casting for the 4th of July truck, the exclusive one. Interesting. So let's move on to the top 5. Alright, so now we're cracking the top 5 trucks of Mix 12, and either way I look at these 5 trucks, this one has to be number 5 because the other 4 are just, in my opinion, a lot better. But however, this truck number 5, it kind of has a supplemental volume, or, okay, sorry for that, my smoke alarm's going off. Give me 1 second. So yeah, where was I? Sorry about that. My wife's making dinner, and yeah. So anyway, the 5th truck on this list, and entering the top 5, so like I said, I really like this set that it was in, or the series it was in, and I hate to see that this series might get discontinued, or the set, whatever you want to call it, but none other than OverCast EarthShaker. So I think these guys picked a really good truck to end Overcast with. I like EarthShaker. I like the whole kind of gray, yellow. I like the detailing they did with the rocks, how it's still basically like that brownish, grayish color. And I also love the fact how they didn't change the molding of the dirt in the back as well. I like the Overcast series. You know, there was a lot of trucks in there that were questionable. There were a couple trucks in there that were really nice and really flow well together with the whole idea and concept. And Gravedigger, Blue Thunder, Megalodon, those trucks being them. This truck flows really nice. I think they picked a really nice truck to end that series with, or that set with, or that category with. And I kind of hope it comes back later on in the year, but who knows, maybe next year. Hopefully it's not finished for good, you know, hopefully it will take a year break or it will come back or something, but then it's like, what can they do that they haven't done yet? So hopefully we'll see something down the line a couple of years from now or something. Hopefully it's not the end for Overcast. But anyway, let's move on to truck number 4. All right, so hands down, these are probably the 4 best trucks in this mix, and definitely 2 of these might be in the top 5 of people's favorite trucks for this year. It is insanely hard to choose, and what I'm basically going off of is basically the design, the detailing, the castings, all that. So with that being said, the 4th truck on this list is none other than this chase piece right here. So Blue Thunder, the chase piece, I like the roll cage. I like the whole ride truck vibe. I like these chase pieces. I love them. Don't get me wrong, I love the chase pieces this year. However, this in particular is the 2nd time that we are seeing this casting. Now, I got nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. I love this casting. I love the way the Blue Thunder roll truck. I love the way the Blue Thunder ride truck. God, my wife can't cook. Hang on. Alright, so yeah, I love the way this truck looks and everything. However, the thing that's knocking this truck down a couple pegs is the fact that we just saw the BKT ride truck in the mix before this. Now, if Spinmaster maybe gave us, I think there's what, El Toro ride truck coming out, EarthShaker, and Megalodon, and say they gave us the El Toro ride truck because there's an EarthShaker and Megalodon in this mix, then we saw this one, like say we see this when the El Toro ride truck comes out, I think it would have been ranked higher, and it would have been really interesting to see the El Toro ride truck instead of just seeing another ride truck with the same casting in the very next mix. So putting it in that standpoint is where this truck gets knocked down. But don't get me wrong though, I think this truck looks really nice, and I do think this truck looks better than the BKT ride truck. But just in this mix alone, these next 3 trucks were really, really good. But yeah, with that being said, let's move on to the top 3. So the top 3 trucks in Mix 12, really, really hard. I honestly think these 3 trucks might be in for the running for the top 10 trucks of the year. They are very well put together, color schemed, everything. But the truck that's number 3 for me, it was definitely tough to pick this one at number 3. But here it is. It's none other than the Elemental Megalodon. So this truck right here, this is so nice looking. I really, really like the detailing on this truck. The Elemental trucks, I wasn't too sure what to expect with them. I thought they were going to be kind of weird, kind of awkward, but so far the 2 we've seen look very, very nice. The Gravedigger one, the earth or dirt one, that looks cool. I love the tires on that. This truck, the water one, I'm so happy they picked Megalodon. You know, the brownie points for this truck is these tires. They feel awesome. The design on them, they look cool. I like how the roll cage flows with the rims, the tires, the chassis, how it's a dark blue. I really love the added water on the Megalodon Shark. I also really love how this side of the truck with the water looks completely different from this side. I love the, you know, the see-through fins, which honestly, I don't know if they meant to do that, but it looks really nice. I mean, it flows. This whole truck basically flows, and the fact that it's in water and it's a shark and everything, really, really cool. It was really, really tough not to put this one in the top 2. I'm a huge fan of Megalodon. I like the way it looks. This is probably the closest that you can get to of like a monster truck that's a shark going in the water. And Spinmaster did an amazing job. They picked the right shade of blue, the right colors, the right things to put transparent. It's just one of my favorite looking trucks. And you know, I'm gonna be fair, I thought the elemental trucks were gonna be weird. I thought they were gonna look awkward. I thought they weren't gonna really look normal. And in a way, they don't look normal, but they don't look bad. The 2 we've seen so far look really cool, really neat, and I'm really excited to see what Dragon, and I think Hurricane Force is the other one, what those ones are going to look like. It's going to be really interesting. I really, really like this truck a lot. However, the next 2, it is so hard to put this one ahead of any one of those next 2. So let's move on to truck number 2. This was a really tough decision. There's only 2 trucks left in this mix, and if you guys are counting by now, then you know one is Gravedigger and the other one is Wolf's Head. So really tough, really interesting one to pick. But for number 2, and the only reason why this one is number 2 is because the number 1 truck, which is, well, the number 2 truck, well, whatever, here's the number 2 truck. The number 2 truck is Wolf's Head. So this is really cool. I love this casting. I love how Spinmaster made it just like the real life truck. I love the detailing on it, and the main reason why this truck is number 2 is the fact that it is hands down the newest truck, the newest casting, the newest anything from Spinmaster, and it doesn't look awkward. It doesn't look wrong. It looks just like the real truck. The color scheme of it flows very nice. It's got very nice rims and tires on it for people to get if they want to customize with those rims and tires. It just flows so nice, and it is really hard not to put this truck at number 1 because this thing is just, it is just awesome to look at. It really is. I think this thing looks amazing. It is just like, you look at it and it's like, how is this not number 1? And it's tough. It's really tough. Last mix 11 was kind of easy to sort through. Mix 12, this is probably the hardest mix to put what trucks I like in what order. And just the fact that this, we knew it was coming, we didn't know how exactly it would look in a diecast form, but it looks amazing. It looks really cool. But you know, that Gravedigger truck has a lot of detailing in that. But even though this one does too, I just love the way it flows, and I think a lot of people are going to put this at number 1 in this mix. It is hard not to put this in your top 3. If this one's near the bottom of your ranking for mix 12, then you must hate this truck. I mean, I can't see why. But with that being said, let's look at the the best truck in this mix, in my opinion, and maybe a lot of other people's opinions. So let's bring that one out. And here it is, the Wreckless Gravedigger. So now there's a Gravedigger in every single mix. There's some form of Gravedigger in every mix, and the fact that this is basically every single Gravedigger mashed up into a mix, it's pretty cool. We have every single Gravedigger on here, and a lot of people might be, oh, how come this one's your favorite? You know, how come you didn't put Megalodon or Wolf's Head, or why is this one not in the middle? The amount of detailing and the amount of just getting all these different Gravediggers, you know, certain doors and certain hoods and sides to line up and flow together must have been really, really tough for the design team to do that. And you know, they could have just put gray rims on it or green rims on it and called it a day. But the fact that they have a rim, which basically goes off of every single truck. You got the red Gravedigger, you got Grandma on this side, and then you have the more modern with the green rim and the gray rim. It's just an amazing piece. The fact that they made every single piece blend with like a rusted finish to make it blend together. This is just something you would make if you just took 5 or 6 Gravediggers and cut up and glue them together, and you know, you would get something like this. Like, this is a fantasy kind of, like a kid's drawing come true in a way. And it is really, really cool how they did this. I really love this truck. I don't think this will be the #1 truck for 2020, but it's definitely in the top 5 to 10. We don't know what else is coming out this year, but this truck is definitely up there. It's gotta be. I mean, just the way this truck flows together with all these different variants of Gravedigger on it, it's just really, really amazing. And I think Spinmaster did an amazing job with this. It's just really cool. And also, it has a brand new chassis. We've never seen that color before. So, it's really sick. It's really nice. It was really, really tough to make that. You know, I can't even imagine the design team trying to make that and come up with that idea. But you know what? Spinmaster did it. They pulled it off. It looks amazing. And Mix 12, honestly, as a whole, it is definitely one of the better mixes. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, this mix, I don't want to say it's the best mix of 2020, but it's definitely one of the top ones. There's just a lot of good trucks in here. Like, you look at these 6 trucks right here, you know, and that's like, you got 6 really good trucks already. You know, the other 3 trucks, WonderWoman, Whiplash, and AfterShock are but those 6 trucks right there, definitely the best in this mix. I mean, this mix was really good. And this is an awesome mix by Spinmaster. You guys did an amazing job on all these trucks. And, you know, this kind of stuff makes me excited to see what's coming out for Mix 13 and 14 and 15. So I can't wait for that. You know, hopefully it will be soon, but I think it's going to be a little bit. But with that being said, guys, let me know in the comments what trucks you guys like the most, what ones you thought were bad. Maybe you guys thought Whiplash was the best truck in this mix, or maybe WonderWoman. But, yeah, with that being said, like the video, subscribe, and I got way more content coming out very, very soon. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys very shortly.